development, right? So I guess you can start by telling a little bit about the project itself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm working on is XR Job Sport. So
Yeah.
XR stands for extended reality. So essentially like a go-to place for all opportunities in AR, VR, mixed reality, and whatnot.
So yeah, I'll open it on the screen. You can see the shared screen. If you would watch on a stream, it obviously would be with the delay, but you can see. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and the reason why I decided to do it is I'm coming from as I'm a product designer. I'm working kind of on XR related projects, and at the moment it's really difficult to look for any jobs related to that because there are many different titles. There's AR designer, VR designer, XR designer, spatial, and with Apple introducing like new terms, and that's the case for all sorts of positions like product managers. Developers and whatnot, and it's just really, really difficult to look for that kind of things on LinkedIn, or Google Jobs, or anywhere else. And just haven't been anything like that, so far. I mean, there are a few jobs out there, but they don't look really nice. They are not being updated very regularly. So I thought that it might be opportunity to, to fill a gap or create.
I mean, our mics match the volume. I hope this is closer to that. Okay. Okay. So first of all, like the job types, right? What was it was AR, right? I just want,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna write it. So augmented reality, VR, so virtual reality. I also want to make sure I don't forget the full. What was the is it MX? Was it MX mixed reality? What is it?
It's MR.
MR, right? Oh yeah, yeah. I was like mixed reality, and then you also have you have XR, right? As
Yes,
and was that enhanced?
that's the extended reality.
Extended, Jesus Christ. I don't even like that. Just that encapsulates all the jobs, right? Basically, they're just
Exactly.
extending the reality. Yeah. So I mean, the job types. I mean, yeah, the industry is more like, and then you have the positions, right? Which is designer, engineer. What else do you have?
So
Product man. I
engineer,
mean, manager,
product
something,
manager,
something.
developer.
All right. Yeah, you should write that. Product manager, I guess. What else do we have here? I'm just looking through the actual listings. Oh, okay, architect as well. I guess the software architect or something probably won't be as relevant. Artist.
Producer might be also quite common.
That's for the basically creating the scenes and stuff in the like let's say like an engine like a Unreal Engine. Is that?
It might be more related, similar to product manager.
Okay.
It's just like kind of different name. But producer is more common within, like, let's say, gaming industry rather than product manager.
Oh yeah, yeah. The industries. We can, I guess, just want to also just I'm gonna list all these things just to later maybe you can refer to like industries, right? It's gaming, the big one. Then you have what else do we have? Architecture, whatever. Where do we using? Where are we using it?
Probably, I'm not sure if
I mean
startup.
metaverse, but I don't want to call it an.
So that's the tricky part because
Yeah.
if you look, for instance, if you scroll for the jobs, you see many companies that are like very typical, like Samsung or Nike.
Yeah, actually gonna add e-commerce there just because I know AR, at least AR is pretty big in e-commerce already. Yeah, although it's it's gonna be VR too, but right now AR is already used by the basically 3D models, and then you just place them in your room, for example, so you can see.
What about VFX, like movie production type of things?
Oh, that makes sense because I think they make movies nowadays in like the Unreal Engine, right?
Well, there are also, like, for instance, the Mill is a VFX studio that works quite a lot.
Yeah, I think they actually make movies now in the Unreal Engine and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we're just writing these things down. We'll we'll go through them a little bit soon. Niantic, that's gaming.
Probably industries design or like technology, so more kind of like broad. I'm not sure.
Get some things out of the way, so I know what we're dealing with. Okay, so and you said it's generally hard to find the jobs because they're all over the place, right? Basically, they're not concentrated in like on a single job board, for example.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna click through any of these links and I'm getting to the job listing on their website. So what's your plan with the monetization or anything for this? Is there any
Yeah. So so this is like a very simple version, of the website. That's why it kind of takes right away to the job listing.
Mhm.
I plan to have my own like job description, job details pages
Yeah.
to have more, I guess, pages for SEO. If that's I'm quite green in that topic, so
Yeah,
apologies
I
for
actually
that.
wanted to update count. Okay.
In
Yeah.
terms of
Let me check. Okay, so site, yeah, we're basically not getting anything on the postjob.com and about page. So we get 3 pages. Actually, I wanted to, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure that, I think I can do it here too. I just wanted to make sure I use some city in the US. Right, let's just go with Seattle. I can do this there too, right? I just want to make sure all the listings, yeah, I get from from a more appropriate location for the market. All right. Okay, so I was already checking like what you're currently basically what's indexed on Google right now, and you can see the problem when you're listing directly to the job listing. What you
Yeah.
get is basically about page, post job, and top page. So if I would be like, what do we even have on this page? So let's say interface. Oh my God, is someone following me? Yeah, someone's following me. Okay, we basically get nothing. We get, even if I do VR search on your site, I get like this listing because you have it somewhere in the. But basically, it's not. Uh, no one's gonna be excited about seeing that, you know. So the problem for that is that you don't have any or either category pages separated that are indexed or job listings that have at least some content from the job listing pulled out and indexed. That's like the first thing you already would need to do for the SEO is getting some content. Usually, just like probably category pages. You just like list jobs by category, maybe like a subcategory. Maybe implement some filters and stuff for that. Not necessarily filters, but at least have like some kind of like in this place we just have something for navigation, maybe between categories, so they can quickly filter them out. But it also leads to an page that this can be indexed. So you have the first of all the listings indexed, and then you obviously work on the title, the heading, like the heading 1, maybe heading 2 there, and small description with the keywords, just to make sure that we get it listed appropriately, so we can target the keywords later with the appropriate pages directly. So that's what you're missing right now, right? It's obvious thing that's always gonna miss if you link directly to the listings. So also it should have actually at least. I mean, I don't know when was the last time you indexed a page, but if I would, gosh, can I even now? Can I actually get this text? Yeah, I should have indexed this one, right? It's indexed. No, it's not indexed. Okay, is that a wait? I didn't even check. Is that a single page application or server side? Is it server side rendered? What
Yeah,
I
it's pulled. The information is pulled from the database.
okay, but it's not loaded after the. Okay, it doesn't matter anyway. Not as much. I just want to make sure it's rendered right when the Google actually can access it right away instead of passing through JavaScript. Okay, okay, the listings are listed. Okay, so we have a obvious problem with the indexing, and that's why you're gonna need to add category pages, and also like probably just take the listing, and I assume you just pull out some of the content that's important. I don't know if you can automate it or not from those listings, and just list it on your side, and then you add a link, apply for job that can lead to their their website.
Yeah.
So you just get some indexing on your side for the same content that's offered in the job listing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we need is job listing indexing. Probably some kind of category indexing,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously then we need like filters / links to categories on the homepage, basically.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I guess we dealt with this basics. You want to add anything? Is there any? Oh yeah, also the remote and contract. Those are obviously partially probably as filters. They can be as category pages as well. Just so topically, you can rank for like remote XR jobs or stuff like that. It could probably just be a category page as well. Then
Mm-hmm.
it looks like a bot to me because it's asking me to add them on Discord. If you're not a bot, I mean you can talk about it, but anyway, like, okay, let's get to something more interesting. Probably like let's go to the keywords, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do SEMrush. Are you using any tools for SEO like research right now?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna use SEMrush, whatever you want to call it. It's like $140 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You could do Hrefs for 29, the cheapest plan, but not gonna get much done with that. I prefer this. You can get 14-day trial if you find an affiliate link online. I'm starting with jobs because I'm gonna go to the keyword magic tool. And we're gonna start filtering out all the keywords we care about. AR, VR, MR, XR. What do I? Augmented reality. I probably want to. Oh no, I already think I know a problem I'll just encounter.
Mm-hmm.
I already know what I'll encounter right now. Okay, so any keywords. Oh yeah, it happened. You see this Indeed jobs Little Rock AR?
Yeah.
That's basically it's Arizona, right? Little Rock, Arizona, Conway,
Uh,
Arizona. Yeah. So we have a slight problem with the fact it's location-based jobs that show up for AR. I'm not sure I can because if I do the exclude keyword jobs in, I'll also exclude some valid keywords. Ah, still
mm-hmm.
near. Okay, but yeah, that sucks. That sucks. That sucks. Okay. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna exclude AR for now. Well, I hope
Mm-hmm.
there's no other states. Hopefully VR is not. Oh, that shouldn't be. Okay, VR job simulators. Job simulator. Okay, isn't that a? It's just a
It's a
simulator.
game. Yeah.
That's a game, right? Mr. Beast
Mm-hmm.
jobs. Oh, MR. Yeah. Okay, MR. Mr. Nice. Okay, Meta job VR. So that's just people who want to apply to Meta, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Most likely.
most likely. Okay, so they. Oh yeah, That's also. I think that other things that are related to this might be the platforms you're developing for, because you might also be developing specifically for Apple Vision Pro, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Apple Vision Pro or
and
Quest,
even the
Meta Quest.
engines, right? If you Unreal Engine, like technically would be a platform you're developing for, so you might need someone with already specialized knowledge in the with engine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
fair enough. Anyway, we're getting here, so I guess I start with going with it by difficulty. We just start with something very easy. Check. Oh my god, there's nothing here. Let's go to easy. What is that volume? Anyway. Okay, meta job. We are virtual reality jobs.
Mm.
These keywords are actually not that bad in general. I could check what we get for virtual reality jobs in general. how does it look for US? No degree, remote. So these are like common, apparently, tags that Google allows you to choose. Yeah. Okay, so meta careers, you just get a meta site. How do I get a job in VR? Sometimes you can actually write something like this content, but if you don't have the authority, not gonna be worth much for now. So we get Indeed, we get LinkedIn, we get a lot of link. Oh god, so we get showbiz jobs. Is that
Mhm.
is that one of those also similar sites just for entertainment industry? Uh,
Yes, it seems like.
okay, so showbiz jobs. Yeah, cookies, nice. Paramount, yeah. So okay, so these are there's another job. Yeah, so there's another job board that does basically the same, just for not for MR. Yeah. So yeah, you can see how they do it basically by category. They have a listing by category. They have listing by cities and states,
Mm,
countries, and job titles. You know, some obviously. I have seen that on many of the job boards as well. They would just categorize it
mhm.
like this, which makes sense because you want to have for each of these, you see this link job slash category slash casting office. So you can rank for specifically matching the keyword with the title, basically title URL. This page is obviously empty. There's a lot of opportunity on the empty pages to include something else sometimes, but don't need to. But that was a good, actually decent example to show the categorization you could do. Um,
Can you expand on that part where you said that the jobs on the main page are also not showing up, even
uh,
though
yeah, the one thing I was wondering whether it's not indexed recently, but another thing is whether this is rendered with JavaScript and it's actually not showing up when the Google checks for the first time. Uh,
Mhm.
Basically, you should be servers, like you should be rendered server side or statically, and you should just be showing the HTML when the page gets loaded instead of loading it through API or something. I'm not checking that right now, but
Gotcha.
are you? Is it just rendered on a server and the HTML is returned? Because I felt like there was like some yeah, like I feel like it's populating the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's you should avoid that. And just for the quickest indexing, like the indexing time after you submit it to Google and making sure it's actually indexed, you should avoid for this kind of stuff anything that's client side rendered basically through API or anything. You should try to do everything on the server and just return the HTML or use a just statically generate the site and just return HTML directly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Makes
what I was talking about. Yeah, that's why it's probably
Thank
not
you.
uh, showing something right now for the. Yeah, what I want to. Oh yeah, we were going through this. I'm just looking
Mhm.
through what we actually see here. Glassdoor, yeah, a lot of sites. But this is this actually is not a long tail keyword at all. This was I believe that was virtual reality jobs. Keyword difficulty is allegedly relatively easy, but I'm actually not very convinced about that. Um, but it's because not having backlinks right on those pages, although the sites. Let's check what we have here as well. Augmented reality jobs in augmented reality, Mr. Carver's jobs, AR VR jobs. Yeah, the easiest keywords obviously will be for you to target whatever is easiest, but because this volume is actually very small, and also you can create content for the questions as well sometimes, but there's basically nothing on this that I can find. However, we have basically I'm actually surprised with volumes being relatively low for a lot of these jobs. I actually expect it's probably also our keyword selection here is a little bit more. We probably could take one of the categories right now, and which is the most common category for jobs right now out of out of AR VR. MR? Is it just VR or AR?
Me personally, I often type in augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, or extended reality because, for instance, if you're in Italy, VR stands for Verona. So when I was speaking to potential users, many were saying that when they were looking for jobs, for instance, on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and they typed in VR, let's say product manager, they were getting, product manager in Verona, right? So I think that's the other kind of problem right now when it comes to kind of looking for jobs.
Okay.
So it
So
might be, yeah, like augmented reality, virtual reality jobs, or jobs in virtual reality, jobs in augmented reality, and whatnot.
and which sites are you actually taking this from? You're just going over. Are you scraping them, or are you just going over the other job boards, or you're going over their websites? What's your process right now for this?
So it's primarily manual
Mm-hmm.
or shared. So I look for them by myself, or I know specific companies that usually look for people,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of curate them manually in terms of which jobs are kind of most interesting at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're having jobs in augmented reality. We have augmented reality jobs. It's actually not. I mean, the difficulty is not actually that bad. So you could prepare categories based on the keywords, basically augmented reality jobs, and include AR, like slash AR jobs or something. You could just include the shorthand for it as well, the
Mhm.
abbreviation. Yeah, so just include it in the title of H1. In the description, you can obviously ex- extend a little bit on the keywords as well.
Mhm.
On
When you say targeting keywords, can you?
I mean that you would be having this augmented reality jobs. You would just be making us you would be making a category page. Like I'm gonna show it here right now,
Mhm.
like slash augmented reality jobs, for example, right?
Mhm.
And that would be a category page where you would just have the same job listings as you have right now, but it would be just listing, like it's basically would automatically be filtering out only these that category jobs, and that's how you would be trying to rank for that specific keyword with this category
Mhm.
page. So that
Mhm.
would be, and then from there, as we talked about before, you would need the job listing indexing. So you would also need each individual job listing. Ideally, you also have like link back to the category from those job listings, but not this. It depends if you actually can choose a primary category, because often you can't choose a primary category, so you could just link back to the homepage, for example. But
Mhm.
ideally, if you can choose a primary category, for example, for a specific job listings, ideally it would just link back to, like, let's say there would be a job at Meta for augmented reality. You'd be linking back specifically to this category through like some kind of site link, the breadcrumbs. You'd be linking back up to the category page, just because it provides some internal linking, like a page rank to the
Mhm.
specifically this category, and you would want to actually feed that into categories that seem to be worth ranking for, like with maybe a little bit higher volume, and you can still rank for them. Then you would just be feeding in a little bit of that internal linking. So otherwise,
Mhm.
sometimes what you notice is that you look for this like augmented reality jobs, and maybe you add something extra, and it just throws out a specific job listing instead of the category page when the job listing actually doesn't match their query. So you'd want to like provide Google a little bit more context that, for example, this page is more important than a subcategory page.
Mhm.
So what I mean is, like, you have homepage, you have category page, let's say slash augmented reality jobs, and then we have a job listing page,
I
which
see.
should be at that point it would be slash augmented reality jobs slash, let's say, Nike experience designer, for example. Just for example.
Is it
It. By the way, you don't actually need to do this always with the
Mhm.
through the category. You can also exclude the category. I said that it's optional, but I
Mhm.
would actually prefer those category listing through the category for specific topics where you want to build more of that topical authority.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's based on a keyword difficulty and volume. Sometimes, like you look for the opportunity where you can actually improve. Advanced in a way, you could.
Yeah.
That's more advanced in the sense that you would actually know when and where to look for that, because you could also do the same job listing page with only like basically homepage / Nike experience designer, for example.
Mhm.
So that would be the default, and then through the category listing. That's I guess when you do a little bit more research.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that would be. And then you would be obviously listing these pages. You would fix the H1s. You would fix the description, and which would again include the keywords. This is like the primary keyword, like augmented reality jobs, for example. And maybe you do /AR jobs, or you do like augmented reality AR for example, jobs. Although this will rank a little bit worse, but you could do something like this, for example.
Mhm.
I mean, augmented reality /AR, for example. Leave it like that.
Mhm.
And then the description will include a couple extra keywords that are semantically basically similar. Um, you would probably write what you'd write, for example, you might write find jobs in augmented reality for, and then you might even list, like, for example, the game engines and everything there, like something that's related, or platforms like MetaQuest or something. You would just list something like that in the description, just so you
Mhm.
pick up some of those extra long tail keywords with that category page. Um, and that would be if you're building like this one. I'm specifically talking about category page here, actually. So
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
yeah, so that will be the main, I guess, the main goal. We would go there, but we're still looking at. Oh yeah, another thing, I guess, which you can do, I sometimes have seen it, is like have these salary ranking pages, because it's low volume, and it's usually
Mhm.
low difficulty. So you can actually create some category where you actually just have some data pulled out, maybe even from your listings, where you just show like some kind of graphs, or
Mm.
listing just augmented reality jobs salaries, for example, right?
Mhm.
And you would just have a separate page for that. So people who are looking for this can land on that page. And you might
Mhm.
even link directly to the job listings or the category page for those job listings, that they can go from this page to actually looking through the job listings once they realize, okay, I like the salary, give me the jobs.
Mhm.
So yeah, that is nice for some of those very long tail, maybe low volume keywords. You could get some traffic, basically, because you would target directly this keyword with the website, with the
Yeah.
H1, for example. Again, you could build some kind of primary page, which would be like something like, I don't know, /salaries, and then you would do the /augmented reality salaries. You have the primary page, you have sub page which filters out, and you
Mhm.
collect even more of that long tail traffic for yourself.
Mhm. Interesting. Yeah, makes sense.
But obviously, currently, we already talked about those first things. That is the job listing indexing, category indexing. Those will be the first things for you to complete. This is the extra to try to get that little bit more traffic, because this is the traffic you might have easier time ranking for, compared to some of those job listing pages like Indeed and whatever else we have here. Yeah, so okay, we can check a little bit more, I guess, for Oh yeah, there's also industry jobs like healthcare, which we also forgot, but it's actually supposedly pretty common now that you use some kind of VR environment for surgeries. Not common, but
When you talk about category indexing, would you organize the jobs based on the categories, but category in terms of like category positions? So xrjobsboard.com/design or designer slash, and then there is a job, if that makes sense. Or
yeah,
would you?
yeah. You can do by any. We went through that one of those results where the categorization was by location, by job type, basically by position, by category. We went through one of those results we saw where another site was ranking for like I believe for entertainment industry. They were just
Mhm.
listing basically different categories. So you can create that categorization for all kinds of categories, and not categories but types of categories. You can categorize by job types. You can categorize by position, industries. You can do all of those at once.
I see.
You
Okay.
just create separate indexing. Yeah. The only issue it causes is which we talked about here is the top categorization would be problematic if you do that because
Yeah.
generally it would have one primary, for example. You could do subcategorization for everything, but then you wouldn't be able to always link back to the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would just distribute a little bit more of that page rank
Mm-hmm.
between
Okay.
technically duplicate pages.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, there's also a lot of location, low traffic, but they do show up here, which means people are browsing that. Augmented reality jobs in USA, Malaysia, Germany. Are you planning to actually split it between location as well? I assume it's
Yeah.
mostly AR, but you're planning to split it between, I mean, remote, but you planning to split them, right, between locations as well.
Yeah, people
Yeah,
are quite interested in that. So US, I'm thinking most likely through countries, but I've been also thinking about the time
yeah. By
zones.
search, we're looking. It looks like you should do cities as well.
Okay.
Dubai, Hyderabad, Pune, Los Angeles, London, Melbourne, Mumbai, Munich, Munich, sorry, Munich, um, Portland. Yeah,
And
so there's definitely cities, basically the main hubs of main tech hubs you have in the world. So they split
and
by
those
cities.
categories don't have to be particularly accessible from the main page, right?
Yeah, you might want to allow the categorization. Basically, if you create filters, right? I can
Mm-hmm.
even I don't think I can do that, but even if we go to that remote, okay. I mean, yeah, this is what got me banned. I mean, banned. I mean, blocked. So, I think he does categorize by location here. We have you. Okay, this is horrible. I don't actually like this, but okay. So, he does location region EU. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
fair enough. But I would I like even this. I want to already complain about because I'd actually prefer it's just you know Europe.
Yeah,
Yeah, or something like this.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oops,
That makes sense.
I landed on this 404 page. Yeah, so this is filtering out. Um, yeah, I could do multi-region with these filters as well, but I have a lot of complaints about actually how the SEO on this Peter Level's site is still done. Apparently, I checked one day as well. I have a lot of complaints about it. But he said his SEO is perfect, so I can't contest him on this. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you would have such filters just like remote OK, but maybe a little bit simpler. Just have some filters, so they can select by location. You can even just allow them to select by location, and then you land on a separate page, which basically allows you to select basically the main locations. If you don't have like too many locations, you could just have like small cards showing each city or like a couple regional
Mm-hmm.
cards. Just just show them like that by popularity or something.
Mhm.
Show the
Yeah,
cards, and then they, yeah.
No, I was just saying that I've been looking now at kind of other job boards, and I understand what you're saying now
Yeah.
with
The,
that. Yeah.
the main thing there would be the add the filters and indexing each filtered page, for example, even for the city and
Mhm.
stuff. So have some chance to also rank for that directly. The one thing though, when you're ranking outside of the US, is that you might also want to consider at some point, not saying now, but doing the internalization with like I don't know, AI translated just navigation and everything, like AI translated or whatever. That you would actually have listings and the navigation and everything indexed in like German, French. Oh, sorry,
Just
Spanish. Yeah,
yeah.
that's like probably down the line for you. But I personally have seen a lot of volume in many categories, including like e-commerce for Europe and stuff. When you do there's a lot of traffic you're missing when you do only English.
Mhm.
Although
Mhm.
it's tech field, you still in some regions will be missing a decent amount of traffic. But
Yeah.
that can be sometimes be searched for depending on the countries, and also sometimes they're just more likely to do like be converted through your site if they actually can view the site in their native language.
Mhm.
That's probably more in the people probably more interested from the posting jobs side to actually sometimes have that.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah. So
Most
hmm?
most of the traffic right now comes from the US, but it's a
And it
good.
makes sense. That it's always gonna make sense when you're doing only English as well. Like no, but in this category, I actually wouldn't stress over the other languages. I'm pretty sure if I would try to browse, like try to translate and browse, there wouldn't be that much like traffic for Spanish or German compared to English. But if you're missing like let's say 30% of the traffic, sometimes worth it.
Yeah.
But but not initially.
Mhm.
So yeah, the language is low prio. Um, okay, if you're going, there's obviously specific companies jobs. Another option to, if you have enough jobs later, is to actually filter them by companies as well.
Mhm.
Although that you will be, I'm not actually. That would be more like filtering on your website, but I wouldn't actually suggest necessarily always ranking them that way because you don't. First of all, you're not gonna outrank their main jobs website,
Yeah.
like page on their site, and you also don't really want to rank for other brands' keywords that much. That can get you in trouble sometimes.
Mhm.
Not like too much. They don't want to actually be categorizing yourself, but you're not gonna outrank them anyway. So that part is mostly like you want to categorize it on your own site, even if you're not indexing those pages. Just so they can select by Amazon, like Google, Microsoft. So I'm starting those startup jobs, software jobs. I'm just gonna go over the keywords a little bit more. I mean, do you have anything?
So I'm
Yeah,
just recollecting my thoughts.
yeah.
I think from the keywords of actually looking into in Google, the main parts were, as I was saying, like augmented reality jobs or jobs in like in a full words. Um, I mean that's what it kind of mostly kind of comes up. I think something could be interesting, but I'm not sure how. I haven't looked at myself. Is like like the word spatial, because of the Apple Vision Pro. That's the been kind of other keyword that has been popping up.
Yeah, let me.
Um, but it's quite ambiguous comparing kind of to other categories. So I'm not sure how actually that would, how relevant that would be.
Yeah, I'm currently also gonna check what's happening with this one. Just how does it look if I'm looking for entry level augmented, like just position, also like seniority, augmented reality entry level jobs. So Indeed does rank for this, but this is
The thing is that with like Indeed, if you like actually clicked in, like most stuff that it shows up there is not really related.
You are user research. Yeah, this is not even. I mean,
So
okay,
for example,
NASA virtual. Yeah, but okay.
um,
Yeah, I guess this is also based on. Yeah, so now this is just picking me entry level jobs instead of actually picking jobs that are relevant.
so that's what I was like, like also came across is that, for instance, Indeed, I never click on it because you go to the page that showed up in Google, and pretty much like 95% of jobs is completely irrelevant when you
Yeah,
scroll
but
through.
what they actually do here is they literally have the query keyword ranked, and because of their like high domain ranking, they just rank for this keyword that they have.
Mhm.
So this is literally what they're doing.
I
So
see.
that's the same thing you need to do, but you can actually have like content that's matching the query, for
Yeah.
example. So you can actually slowly improve your rankings against sites like that do like something like this. I assume this. Let's check this ZipRecruiter. Same thing. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
actually have. This is not what we're browsing for. Like like augmented reality. This
Mm-hmm.
has nothing. Like the titles. Nothing says augmented reality here. So when
Yeah.
your site does have it, because now what happens is a lot of people just click back. They go back to Google. They were like, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
They go
Exactly.
back, but they go to the next listing. And if they find
Mm-hmm.
your listing, they actually and see the relevant results. They stay on your site, so your rankings go up over time because the first of all
Mm-hmm.
the click through rate maybe because your title description might match better, and the
Mm-hmm.
time spent on the site will go up. So Google will have signals that they're not going back to Google right away from your site. And that's how you do slowly gain rankings. That's why that's contextually relevant results with these keywords matching even this long tail keywords they have. As
Mm-hmm.
long as you have appropriate listings, will actually get you ranked.
Mm-hmm. Um, I've been also wondering at the beginning you mentioned about when you Googled a phrase, it showed up also like answers, like Google Answers,
Mm-hmm.
and you said specifically about if you have authority in that. Did you
Yeah,
mean like
yeah.
authority
Let
from?
me just. I'll just go augmented reality. Oh. This is the jobs site from Google. Yeah, I never see that locally, but there these are actually relevant.
So
And
this
they're
is
listing through the ZipRecruiter. So the Zip. Okay, so they do listing through LinkedIn. Yeah, so they show these job listings from those sites.
Mhm.
By you meant like something like this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually a little bit better for research than directly ranking for it on like these keywords that are like very very generic, um,
Mhm.
not long tail. What you would have here is you can actually do it for research because you can see the keywords that are coming up. For example, how do I become a developer? And then they talk about game engines like Unity and Unreal. So those are the keywords you can tie to the topic of AR, and you can include those keywords in some descriptions or some categorization pages that you create. You can just pull them out. Uh, it does show you like what's the average salary. So there's how much does the AR pay. So people are interested in salary. That's why I
Hmm.
was telling you about that salary categorization.
Yeah.
It gives you that opportunity to start ranking for some long tail keywords related to salaries, and through that you can feed it into your job listings. And that's how you just get some traffic into your site, gain some extra authority, maybe even offer some kind of interactive tool on that main/salaries page, which allows them to perhaps browse up their range of salary they could expect. Something interactive. Uh, Not necessarily, calculators are cool like tools, but I don't think you will be able to do like in calculator. But you can do
Hmm.
something interactive that just allows people to just play around a bit, and it generates backlinks. That's the main thing you would want with something like that, is that it can generate some backlinks when you
Hmm.
post it and be like, yeah, here I have this nice tool. When you're looking for a job, you can check this range here. For example, maybe it's for per country or something. You accumulate some data, or
Hmm.
how the salaries are trending through the quarters each year, for example, like what's the trend for each category.
Mm-hmm.
Something of that sense. I'm just throwing some ideas out because I am not, but this is something you would want to think about if you want to generate some additional backlinks for free to your site. Would be just getting something like that people can play with.
No,
And
this
it's
is great.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so this section, it is good to actually, if you can find good content that you can rank for here, is obviously also good. But I personally mostly use it for research when I'm just checking the topics because it gives you a lot. It gives you a lot of, like, for example, what's this augmented reality in demand, because people are always curious. That's what I said
Mhm,
about also that salary fluctuation through quarters. uh
mhm,
it's related to this, how much is it in demand, for example. It will obviously define the salary ranges as well.
mhm,
um yeah, so it's like growth, expected growth is 39, annual compound annual growth is 39%, 40 almost, yeah, expected growth. So obviously that would be important for the field that what else we get at the bottom. We should get even more, yeah. And then you also get these people also search for. And here you have some other augmented reality jobs. Remote salary again. Remote, this is just another potential opportunity for you to categorize entry level VR jobs.
mm,
Again,
mhm,
you could categorize by seniority if you have jobs that you can categorize yourself for those,
mhm.
because you don't want an empty page. Like, I actually would suggest not to do the thing that Indeed, for example, does and ranks with completely irrelevant stuff. I would actually advise you to, especially at the start, to rank with pages you can fill up with at least couple listings, so people spend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for instance, like, the problem with, I think, the aspect of augmented reality and virtual reality is that those things come like hand in hand.
Yeah,
So
I see it. Yeah, I see it.
most likely the job, that covers augmented reality will also be related to virtual reality. Is it okay to have those category pages that, split between augmented reality and virtual reality, but actually show exactly the same content?
Yeah, I think it potential. I mean, you mean that, like, there would be. So yeah, yeah, they could show the same listings. Yeah, that's not a problem, by the way. Yeah, there could even be that you have a. I wouldn't want to go 2 levels deep, but in theory, it's actually possible to go 2 levels deep as well with the VR AR jobs, and then going VR and AR separately. But now you can repeat the job listings between categories.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah, that's not
interesting.
a problem. That Yeah, you can just do the two separate categories, have the same job listings. It's just that because people will be browsing each individually and then maybe both together. Technically, it will be
Mm,
better if you uh, can provide that direct keyword match. AR
gotcha.
jobs, VR jobs, just to cover more precisely the traffic for those. But yeah, they will go together. You're just gonna be ranking with one or the other.
Yeah, so technically I can just use that just to cover it from the
Hmm.
Google perspective, but from usability perspective, there will be almost no
Yeah, you can
difference.
probably, yeah, but obviously there will. If you have more jobs, you also have a little bit of a difference probably between the categories, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because, like, for example, those new Meta glasses, they'll be AR, not
Hmm.
VR, so it's irrelevant. Whoever's doing the what some other, like, glasses I've seen, like, doing AR glasses, they are
Hmm.
doing specifically AR because you won't be wearing an actual headset to be a
Yeah.
full virtual reality. So technically, I guess to them the VR part will not matter, and they'll
Hmm.
be the opposite.
So
Mhm.
whatever's just a thing. So
Oh, but I did bring up a point that's sometimes relevant, which I mentioned with a lot of things. The language you use might not be the language an average person uses.
yeah.
Like, so even in the technical, whatever technically you're working in the jobs, the language might differ between people as they use it, and it might also differ between, especially people who are looking for entry jobs straight out of college. They might be using terms or words that are not as prevalent in the actual industry, or at least not meant the same way. But you
Hmm.
want to kind of understand that that's your potential customer or potential visitor in your
Yes,
site, and you want to address them. So
absolutely.
their keywords are like their language is matching your copy on the page. For example, in the description, for example, you for the category page, for example, in the description, you add those additional keywords that are maybe just so where people might be mixing them up. You just add those extra keywords on context.
Yes, so that's why I was asking about whether the same, job listings could come up both on
Yeah, they
VR
could
and
come up. Yeah, I get what you mean. I meant that even additional language that might be coming up, where people mixing things up.
totally.
Just yeah, in the description you can obviously target that a little bit as well.
Cool.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I mean, I guess I personally, I guess, have gone through quite a lot. Hopefully that was helpful for you uh, as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you showed me and told me loads of things that I didn't know about or like didn't think about. So I have like loads of, I think, action points and things to kind of research and dive into. So
Yeah, there will be a
thank you.
recording of the live stream on like YouTube, X, and Twitch. I guess
Oh,
doesn't say VODs, but so for me, so um, so you can always go back to that. Just even that sidebar, just